The theories, the pyramid jokes, the Minecraft, the balls. What's going on, guys? My name is JJive Certified, and today, ladies and gentlemen, I will be talking about Animusic. So in case you've never heard of Animusic, Animusic is a collection of music videos with animation and a song in the background organized into two different DVDs created by Wayne Lytle and David Crognale. For some of us, myself included, Animusic has been a major part of our childhood. We've watched it, we've seen all 15 of these wonderful songs and videos, and today I'm going to be ranking all of them from worst to best. Now, I do have a couple criteria when it comes to ranking these videos. One is the actual music itself. How good is the song in the video? And two is the animation. How cool is it? How fun is it to watch? How engaging is it? But yeah, those are our two criteria. So let's get into it. So coming in at our number 15 spot, we have Aqua Harp, getting a 14th place in music and a 15th place, absolutely last place, in animation. Now keep in mind, I don't hate any of these Animusic videos. They're all pretty decent in their own right, but Aqua Harp is definitely the one that suffers of the 15. The animation is what really kills it for me. See, when I'm watching one of these Animusic videos, I want to see some action. I want to see some fun things happening, and the only thing I see happening when it comes to Aqua Harp is just this harp in the middle of a shallow pool with a bunch of things floating around it. There's not really anything happening in this video in terms of animation. That's why it's worse than animation. Then when it comes to music, the beginning of the song is great. When you have the harp by itself, it's fantastic. However, when you bring in the stringed instruments, the bells at the bottom, and the whistly flute things at the top, that's when it begins to become a little not as good. I don't like the flutes. They don't sound great, especially with that harp. It's not a great combination. The synth strings on either side don't sound all that real or appealing, and I just don't like bells in general. So that's why we're going to put Aqua Harp at our number 15 spot. Next up, at our number 14 spot, we have Pipe Dream, scoring a 15th place in music and a 12th place in animation. Now, some of you, I hear you, some of you really enjoy Pipe Dreams. In terms of its animation, it's kind of cool with, you know, the throwing the balls into the little tubes and they make the music. I think that's cool, but the music is what kills it for me. The music in Pipe Dream isn't, it's a really weird feel. It's trying to pick a smooth kind of jazz feel, and while I usually enjoy that, I feel like this genre is handled really poorly in this song in particular. It almost sounds like freeform jazz, but like really slow freeform jazz. Everything's kind of just doing little random things, and the music is just, it doesn't fit together well. I don't enjoy it. When it comes to animation, I know some of you love the whole components with the balls in the tubes and the hitting the instruments and stuff like that. That's cool, but when you really consider the setting of this, you're literally just on a wooden stage with a bunch of random instruments and some pipes. Like, the concept is cool, but when you look at it as a whole picture, it's not that cool, so that's why Pipe Dream is our number 14 spot. Next up, at our number 13 spot, we have Drum Machine, scoring a 13th place in music and a 13th place in animation, 13 all around. The reason Drum Machine is just so low is when you consider the music. While it gets cooler later on and the finale is pretty cool to, you know, experience, it's really the beginning that kills it for me. The gears are cool, but when the instruments start coming in, it just seems random, like you're choosing drums to hit and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna hit these random drums and boom, yay, that's music. It's not really. That's why I put the music so low. And then in terms of animation, you literally just have like a brick wall. I think it's brick wall and some drums. That's about it. There's not much happening. Everything is stagnant except for that one thing that brings down the timpanis and those other weird instruments. That's the only really thing that moves. But in terms of animation, not that exciting, not that engaging to watch. So that's why I'm going to put Drum Machine at our number 13 spot. So coming in at our number 12 spot, we have Acoustic Curves with a 12th place in music and a 10th place in animation. Now, when you consider the music of Acoustic Curves, it's only 12th place, so it's not the best, but I guess it's not necessarily the worst. But when you consider the music of Acoustic Curves, there are two things that really kill me with this song. Number one is the beginning. When some of the instruments start coming in, they're really in a mode of experimentation. There's not one clear song throughout. It's just kind of like a bunch of experimentations building up to a climax, which is actually a song, but everything up to that point is really not a consistent song. It's just kind of experimentation, fiddling around with your instruments until you can figure out what to do with them. I don't really enjoy that. For the 10th place in animation, I mean, it's in their top 10, so it can't be that bad. I like how the instruments kind of come together and piece this cylinder. You know, each piece comes in, it's kind of just this one cylinder of music. I think that's cool. But when you consider, you know, the setting around the instruments, it's kind of scary to think about. You've only got the wood paneling in the background, which is cool, but the large, deep hole underneath the entire set scares me. Where the heck does that go? Where the heck are things coming from? There's not much going on with this setting. One more thing with music, it's got bells. Near the end, it includes bells. I really don't enjoy bells. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. That's Acoustic Curves at number 12. Next, at our 11th place, we have Stick Figures, scoring a 7th place in music and a 14th place in animation. Now, the music for Stick Figures actually isn't that bad. I enjoy this kind of like, you know, jazzy kind of feel. I think it's a really cool song, especially when you've got that dark period where the basses come in, the stringed instruments with the, you know, the laser singing out its sad little tune. I think it's a really cool song. Not the best, but it's cool. What really kills Stick Figures for me is the animation. While the guy is really cool and he shows up later in other Animusics, as you will see, the setting is just gross. It's this weird orange light, and it's just a weird wooden box with everything empty around it. And when it comes to the dark period, everything just looks ugly and dismal, and it makes you want to fall asleep. I don't know. It's just the animation doesn't look that attractive. It's the second worst animation of any Animusic video. But yeah, that's why Stick Figures is at our number 11 spot. So coming in at our number 10 spot, we have Pipe Dream 2 from Animusic 2. Now this is going to score an 8th place in music and an 11th place in animation. Now in terms of animation, Pipe Dream 2 only beats out Pipe Dream by 1 place because they're basically the exact same setting. Everything that I said about Pipe Dream could apply to Pipe Dream 2. If you want to go check that out, look back in the video. But with Pipe Dream 2, I don't know, it just got a new fresh look. It looks a lot more refreshing. The colors are there this time. So that's pretty cool. In terms of music, I mean, it's 8th. It's mediocre. It's not the best music, but it definitely did a lot better than the original Pipe Dream. The bells were used a lot more sparingly, and I think they were actually used appropriately considering this setting. I don't usually like bells, but in this piece, I think they were able to weave them in pretty well without them being annoying. But yeah, Pipe Dream 2, number 10, right in the middle. It's just kind of like meh. So yeah. So coming in at our number 9 spot, we have Future Retro, the original Animusic video, the first one on the first disc. This is going to receive an 11th place in music, but a 6th place in animation. Now, in terms of the music, I really don't enjoy Future Retro's song. I mean, it's cool. You know, it's cool with the 4 little instruments, but it's not my favorite song, so it's only at number 11. But what really saves this song in terms of placement is its animation. I think the animation for the song is really cool. You've got the green reflector laser things. Those are really cool. When you get to that part in the song, the setting itself is really nice. It looks like a real stage with all the speakers and you know, volume gaugers in the background. I think that looks really cool. It's a really nice setting. Maybe not the best animation, but it definitely deserves to be up here. So that's why Future Retro is at number 9. So coming in at our number 8 spot, we have Cathedral Pictures, scoring a 10th place in music and a 4th place in animation. Now, when you consider the music, I don't know, this song is a meh for me. It's just a copy of another real song, which I believe is like Pictures at the Exhibition. Can't remember who wrote it, but he did. And yeah, it's just a copy from another song. Doesn't sound too fantastic, but I mean, it's okay. It's in the top 10. But really saves this placement is the animation. It has the 4th best animation of any Animusic video. And the reason for this is I really enjoy the setting and the way the instruments are positioned with the big organ in the background with the trumpet towers, and then you've got the 2 little circles, one with the bass and one with the drums. I don't know, it just looks really cool. The setting around it is really curious for me. I find it really interesting when you look off on the hallways on either side. I'm like, what could be down those hallways? I don't know, it just looks like it's a really cool setting. That cathedral setting, I think, works really well for an Animusic video. So yeah, that's why it's going to be at our number 8 spot. So coming in at our number 7 spot, we have Fiber Bundles, getting a 6th place in music and a 7th place in animation. Now, the music for Fiber Bundles is actually really cool. All the different instruments make it sound really fun. The only problem with this is I feel like it gets a little boring after a while. The music just kind of begins to be like, meh, it's all the same thing. But in terms of the overall, musical, thing that is about Fiber Bundles, I think it's really cool. In terms of animation, this is actually one of the most interesting Animusic videos in terms of animation, with all the strings that, siphon this weird liquid that goes to the different instruments and makes them make sounds. I think it's a really interesting concept. I mean, it's just kind of boring to watch because it's like the same stuff all the time. The whole video, it's the same kind of animation, same kind of stuff. I don't know, Fiber Bundles, really cool. It just gets boring after a hot sec. So coming in at our number 6 spot, we have Gyro Drums, or Gyro Drums, or however the heck you pronounce that. Anyway, Gyro Drums. It comes in with a 5th place in music and an 8th place in animation. Now let's talk about animation for a second. In terms of animation, I really like how this is one of those where it pieces it together. It kind of brings in the one guy, and then it brings in the second guy, and then it brings in another guy. It kind of constructs the gyro thing over time. I think that's really cool. I think how the technological pads under each of the drums, that looks really cool. The lights, whenever you hit the weird sound section in the song, when the lights come out, and I think that looks really cool. In terms of music, this is just a really enjoyable song. It's got a couple different sections with their own little point to them, which sound really cool. I like how it starts with the one guy doing one little drum theme, and then at the very end of the song, it ends with the same drum theme, but with the other guys joining in. Whenever you hit the weird sound section, I think that was implemented really well. Sounds really cool, like some real dubstep electronic music. I don't know, this is just a really cool sounding song, so that's where we're going to put it at our number 6 spot. So coming in at our number 5 spot, we have Resonant Chamber, scoring a 3rd place in music and a 9th place in animation. Now when it comes to animation, I really enjoy this whole guitar mesh table thing with the little spider legs that come out and play the strings. I think that's a cool concept. The only thing that I don't like about the animation is it's a little stagnant. There's not a lot of motion other than the spider legs. It's all just in one place, in one tower. You got a nice moon in the background. That's pretty nice, but that's about it. So that's in terms of animation. That's why it's at 9th place. But in terms of music, this is the 3rd best song in Animusic. I think this is a really cool sounding song. It's similar to Gyro Drums in that it's got several different sections that have their own point to them. But yeah, I think it sounds really cool. It's kind of like Gyro Drums, where it starts with one guy and he plays a theme, and then you get to the very end and everyone's playing the same original theme. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I just really enjoy this song. It's been one of my favorites for a while now, and yeah, that's why Resonant Chamber is at our number 5 spot. So coming in at our number 4 spot, we have the hometown classic Pogo Sticks, scoring a 9th place in music and 1st place in animation. This is our first placer. Wow, that's kind of hard to say. But in terms of music, Pogo Sticks is not my favorite. It's only 9th spot. It's kind of in the middle there. It's really not my favorite. It's kind of just playing the same thing over and over and over again, just kind of adding little sections. You get the tunnel section. That's kind of cool. But I mean, it's just the same thing over and over and over again. Not my favorite. But in terms of animation, this, in my opinion, has the best animation of any Animusic video to date. Now, in terms of animation, the guys who hit their chest to make the music. That's really cool. We got that concept from stick figures, and it came back in Pogo Sticks with a lot more guys, and I think it looks really cool. The boxes all around the map, in the, all around the place that they're at, on the ground and stuff, I think those look really cool. This is the biggest stage of any Animusic video. There's a couple every Animusic video has its own stage. This is the biggest one. It really feels like I'm going on a journey when I watch this song versus just staying in one place and doing the same thing over and over. I really like the journey aspect, and that's why we're gonna put it at our number 4 spot. So coming in at our number 3 spot, we have Starship Groove, the original Animusic 2 theme. With a 4th place in music and a 3rd place in animation. Now, when it comes to the music at 4th place, this is just a really, really cool song. It's done very well. It all feels like one song. The only thing that I don't really like is I feel like at little times it feels a bit random, so that's why I kind of had to put it low, but I like how it's just a nice song structure throughout. In terms of animation, the fact that we have a freaking starship in space with Animusic guys, it's just really cool. These guys are really fun to watch. Of course, you've got the red guy who throws his hands up in the air at one point. That's really funny to watch. But yeah, Starship Groove, just an all-around great Animusic video, but it's definitely not our best because we still got 2 to go. So coming in at our number 2 spot, we have my personal favorite Animusic video, Harmonic Voltage, scoring a 2nd place in music and a 5th place in animation. So let's talk about animation for a sec. It's still 5th place, so it's still really good. It's just not my favorite because it seems a little bit stagnant. I like how it's kind of one big tower thing. The laser pretzel really sells it for me. Love the laser pretzel. The towers in the background kind of make it look cool. The environment seems a bit dead. It's kind of out in space. It feels a little dead. But the animation altogether is really cool. When you consider the music, 2nd best song in Animusic. This is a really nice song with a classic A-B section for the main parts and then a bridge in the middle. It's just a really nice sounding song. The only thing that I don't quite like about Harmonic Voltage is the ending. When you have a finale to a disc, I want a conclusive ending that makes me go, wow, that was pretty cool. It gives me some time to reflect on everything I just watched. But with Harmonic Voltage, when you go into the credits of the actual DVD, it gets a little tangenty. It just keeps going. Yeah, it sounds a little cooler, but I mean, it just keeps going and going and going until it's not. And that's the only thing I don't like. The finale is not superb, but still, it's our 2nd place. It's personally my favorite one, and that's why it's at our number 2 spot. And coming in at our number 1 spot, the best Animusic video ever made, we have Heavy Light, scoring a 1st place in music and a 2nd place in animation. Now, if you consider the animation of this video, it probably has some of the most engaging animation. Pogo Sticks does a little bit better because you really feel like you're on a journey. That's super engaging. But if you just had to consider out of the stagnant videos, this is the most engaging. I like how the pyramid kind of, everything just kind of comes out of the pyramid and it kind of collides with the lasers and stuff. When you get to the very end with the green thing at the bottom and the yellow and the lasers, it's just so many colors in one spot. It looks really cool. I remember as a child watching this and thinking it was the coolest thing I had ever seen. But that's nothing compared to the music. Heavy Light, probably one of the best songs I have ever heard. Period. It is one of the best songs I have ever heard, and I listen to a lot of songs. I listen to all kinds of genres: pop, rock, classical, jazz, bossa nova. I listen to all kinds of music, and this is one of my favorite songs that I have ever heard. It's really cool when you have a section devoid of the main melody and you still find yourself humming the main melody. That's when you know you have a great melody. And what really sells it for me in terms of kind of in terms of everything is this is an incredible conclusion. You've got everything kind of building to a climax. It all dies down with the crash cymbals at the end. I don't remember what those are called. But you've really got a nice, stable conclusion. Everything goes back into the pyramid, and you're just left there to stare at the devoid pyramid while the credits show up on your screen over time. It gives you some really great reflection time. I think it was a perfect conclusion to Animusic, period. Heavy Light, best Animusic video. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. This is Jay out.